Kumusta mga Canadian Dreamers? Welcome sa pinakaunang video ng Pinoy Professionals to Canada. Ang mga video na ito ay ginawa para sana matulungan kayo sa journey nyo papuntang Canada. It took a while bago namin nabuo ang konsepto and it did a lot of research and consultation sa iba't ibang OFW or Overseas Filipino Workers regarding their experiences, kung paano kami nakarating dito sa Canada at kung ano na ang pamumuhay namin, paano kami nag-adjust, mga maling nagawa namin na pwede nyong maiwasan at napakarami pang experiences na pwede nating pagsaluhan. Marami sa amin ang mga nanggaling sa Pilipinas, sa Middle East, sa Hong Kong, sa Singapore at iba pang country na nangarap at syempre nagsumikap na makalipat sa Canada in a hope of a greener pasture. Kung kinaya nga namin, siguradong kayang-kaya nyo rin. Isang paalala lang na ang lahat ng mga videos na inyong masasaksihan ay hango sa mga personal experiences namin. So please, don't consider this as a legal professional advice. Tara, simulan na natin. Sa video na ito, una nating i-discuss ang Canadian resume format. Ano nga ba yung Canadian resume format at anong kaibahan niya sa ibang resume format na nagawa na natin before? Narito at simulan na natin. What to include in your resume? Una na dito, ang iyong full name, ang iyong contact number, at syempre, ang iyong email. Make sure ng iyong pangalan at itong mga contact information ay nasa itaas ng iyong resume na easy enough to find para sa mga recruiters. If maglalagay ka ng email, siguraduhin ito ay professional at hindi basta alias or any adjective that describe yourself. Pangalawa na dapat nasa resume mo is your professional summary or summary of qualifications. Ito ang magbibigay ng quick rundown of your strengths and of course, yung professional qualifications mo. Sa professional summary, please include relevant information related to your work history and job skills. Make sure that this is short and syempre, dapat talaga straight to the point. Work experience. This is the meat of your resume. Kailangan nilista mo lahat ng work experience mo simula sa pinaka-recent in chronological order. Ilagay ito in bullet point kung ano-ano yung mga accomplishment mo at anong nagawa mo on every position. As a general rule, please make sure na i-highlight mo yung mga roles na relevant sa trabahong iyong balak applyan. Focus on your hard skills. Yung hard skills ay tinatawag ding technical skills. Yung generic skills kasi, like organized, hardworking, and team player, sometimes are highly overused to the point of exhaustion para sa mga employers. Pang-apat, dapat andun din ang education, ang kanyang Canadian equivalency, at ang related training sa ina-applyan mong trabaho. Ilagay lamang ang post-secondary education, meaning yung college lang pataas, kasama yung mga postgraduate certificate, postgraduate diploma, lalong-lalo ng master's degree if available. Only include high school kung ito ang iyong highest level of education. Huwag nang isama ang primary or elementary details. Panglima is yung awards won. Napakahalaga din ito. Everyone loves success story and it always reflects positive on you. If you won something, huwag kang matatakot na ilagay ito, lalo na kung related ito sa field mo. Kasi this is one of your asset and this will set you apart from the rest of the candidates. Marami nag-a-apply ng trabaho dito sa Canada, so if you can stand out with the awards or achievements you've achieved, napakaking plus points nito para sa'yo. Pang-anim is yung community involvement. Ibang-iba tong resume ng Canada compare sa atin sa Philippines o kahit sa Middle East. Kasi dito, pinapahalagahan talaga ng mga employers yung community involvement. This is very Canadian, ika nga. Canadian employers and companies loves seeing their potential employees being engaged in local communities. So, if you have recently volunteered for a good cause, might as well, syempre, i-add nyo na rin yun. Kasi, it really looks na concerned ka din sa mga nangyayari sa paligid mo. Ito naman, yung mga what not to include or yung to cut sa resume mo. Career objectives. This is so outdated na. Canadian employers kasi already know that your objective is to get the job, no matter how you rephrase it. So, better natanggalin mo na yung career objectives and ilagay mo na lang yung space para sa more relevant information na pwedeng magamit ng mga employers. Sa isang Canadian resume, dapat wala ring photograph. Dapat wala ring mga personal information like your birthday, marital status, religion, height, weight, etc. Ito pa ang isang tip. Use action verbs only like yung achieved, acquired, coordinated, maximized, spearheaded, or upgraded at maraming iba pang action verbs na tinatawag. Tapos, keep your resume short. Maximum of 2 pages dito sa Canada, guys. So, hindi nila ini-encourage na lumagpas ng 3 hanggang 5 yung resume mo. It doesn't reflect on you very well. Be consistent din sa mga font. Have your spelling checked, pati na rin ang grammar, and make sure someone will actually review it. Isa pa sa pinakamahalaga, guys, is to keep in mind na to write your resume with ATS or Application Tracking System in mind. Sa maraming employers dito sa Canada, the first to review your resume is done by ATS, yung Application Tracking System, which searches only relevant keywords and phrases sa resume mo. So meaning, if wala yung mga job-related keywords or phrases, your resume will not even reach HR review. Imagine, hindi ka na talaga masu-shortlist kasi hindi dumating yung resume mo sa HR. Read the job description na ina-applyan mo carefully and use that language or terminology to your resume to increase your chances of being shortlisted. Para yung resume mo makarating man lang sa HR personnel who will actually review it and endorse it to the hiring managers. Read your resume backward and read it out loud. This is an old proofreading technique. Sentence by sentence, read your resume from the bottom to the top. This forces your brain to read the document with fresh eyes and help catches errors you might miss after nyong ginawa yung resume for hours. Sayang naman lahat ng effort natin kung hindi natin mapuproofread. Ito pa, guys, make sure that your resume is in PDF at definitely latest Word file format. Make sure that the resume is saved on that format kasi yun yung pinaka-readable, and I know you know this already pero pinapaalala ko na lang din. Babalik ako dun sa sinabi ko kanina sa ATS na ang unang magre-review ng resume mo is Application Tracking System. So, kung hindi mababasa ng ATS kung ano man yung nasa resume mo, definitely, hindi na yan makakapunta sa HR. Sana kahit papano, guys, may natutunan kayo sa paggawa ng Canadian resume. Marami kaming mga format na pwedeng i-share sa inyo na mga 2 pages lang. So, if you like to have a copy of those resumes, please leave your email address below or you can directly message us sa Pinoy Professionals to Canada sa Facebook page natin. Again, ito pa lang ang simula at medyo awkward pa sa totoo lang sa ngayon, pero hopefully, we will get better on sharing our experiences in the future. About Canadian resumes, kayang-kaya nyo yan. Andito lang kami to support you, and if you have any other questions, please message Pinoy Professionals to Canada directly on Messenger. Salamat, guys, at kita-kita ulit tayo sa next video natin. Curious ka ba kung in-demand ang trabaho mo sa Canada ngayong 2020? Alam mo ba ang industry na hiring pa rin ngayon kahit may COVID-19 pandemic? Ito ang mga tanong na ating sasagutin sa pangalawang video ng Pinoy Professionals to Canada. Welcome ulit sa PPC channel, where we share relevant information na useful sa mga Filipinos in their journey to Canada. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. We will try to upload as often as possible. At para wala din kayong ma-miss, please click the bell button. Ang topic for today, as I've mentioned before, is top 15 in-demand jobs sa Canada. This is as listed by Randstad. Pakilala ko muna yung Randstad. Randstad is a Dutch multinational human resource consulting firm and isa sila sa pinakamalaking recruitment firm dito sa Canada. Each year, naglalabas sila ng 15 sa pinakamalalaki ang demand sa Canadian job market na siya nating iisa-isahin sa video na ito. Ang mga average salary naman ay galing sa website ng Nuvu, recorded as of making of this video, May 2, 2020. 15 comes with no surprise. It's registered nurses. Canada has an aging population. Each year, pataas ng pataas ang bilang ng elderly, which is putting strain on the healthcare system. Dahil dito, ang healthcare sector is constantly understaffed. Ang challenging lang talaga para sa ating mga internationally educated nurses, hindi ka kaagad makakapag-practice ng nursing dito sa Canada dahil ito ay isang regulated profession. Meaning, may mga assessment at exams na kailangan mong i-bridge para ka maging ganap na Canadian registered nurse. Ang licensing ng mga regulated professions ay i-discuss natin sa mga susunod na videos. By the way, registered nurses has an average salary of 78,798 Canadian dollars per year. Number 14, financial advisor. In the world of Bitcoin at iba pang digital currencies, hindi rin katakataka na kasama ang financial advisor or yung mga money specialist sa listahan na ito. Financial advisors typically works in a bank and is fairly an entry-level role in the financial sector. Financial advisor has an average salary of 79,092 Canadian dollars per year. HR manager. Noong mga nakalipas na taon, Canada's unemployment rate had remained extremely low. This fact put a spotlight sa lahat ng HR professionals kasi each industries are constantly hiring as the economy grows. HR managers sets direction to their organization policies and ensuring that employees are happy and always engaged. HR manager has an average salary of 78,488 Canadian dollars per year. Number 12, accountant. They are called the money experts. Accountants oversees the budget and spending of the individuals and or corporations. In demand sila in the likes of payroll, accounts payable, taxation, and audit. Accountant is also a regulated profession and you may need to bridge certain units and take exam para makuha rin ang highly coveted CPA designation. Accountant has an average salary of 58,408 Canadian dollars per year. Number 11, electrical engineer. From designing electronics to working in an energy sector, the skill set of an electrical engineer have countless applications in our ever-changing modern world. Kahit lahat ng field ng engineering like civil or mechanical, electrical engineers have the biggest shortage now in Canada, which makes it highly in demand. Average salary of licensed electrical engineer is 75,602 Canadian dollars per year. Number 10, merchandiser. With the growth of online shopping, retailers are counting on the merchandisers to build positive retail experience. Merchandisers play a key role in selecting and displaying inventory in retail spaces. Merchandisers earns an average salary of 32,585 per year. Number 9, heavy-duty mechanic. They do exactly what it sounds. Sila ang bahala sa mga machineries in terms of maintenance and repairs. They earn an average salary of 70,180 Canadian dollars per year. Number 8, Project Manager. Ito na siguro yung profession na pinakaalam ko sa list na alam kong in demand talaga. Ako, bilang part ng project management workforce, we ensure that any project, whether it's IT, engineering, or construction, is running within budget, scope, and schedule. Project managers, lalo na yung may mga PMP designations or project management professionals, are highly in demand in Canada. Project managers has an average salary of 91,011 Canadian dollars per year. Number 7, General Labor. Ito yung mga jack of all trades. They always fill the gap in the workforce and completing the task to keep the business running. This work can be physically demanding, kaya napakataas din ng demand nito sa Canada. General labor earns 31,200 Canadian dollars per year. Number 6, Business Development Manager. Ito naman yung mga tao na nagdadala at nag-iisip ng mga new business strategies, new business ventures, and sometimes new clients din. Business development managers expect an annual earnings of 85,000 Canadian dollars. Number 5, Developer. Tech sector is one of the fastest growing in Canada, kaya hindi rin nakakapagtaka na kasama sila sa top 5. Developers builds websites, applications, and other softwares that normally solve or automate our system. Developers earns a salary of 100,000 Canadian dollars per year. Number 4, Welders. Welders is one of Canada's skill trade shortage. If you don't mind working with your hands, welding can be something you can think about. They earn an average salary of 40,950 Canadian dollars per year. Number 3, Receptionist. The front line of every company. Sila yung may knowledge sa telephone system and basic troubleshooting skills sa office space. Receptionist earns an average salary of 33,150 Canadian dollars per year. Number 2, Driver. Mapa long-haul driver pa yan or mapa taxi or mapa Uber, drivers are highly in demand in Canada. Average drivers earns 44,610 Canadian dollars per year. Number 1. Curious na ba kayo kung ano yung most in-demand job here in Canada? Well, ayon sa Randstad, it is Sales Associate or Sales Representative. Businesses heavily relies on them to sell their products, mapapagkain man yan o gamot. They earn an average salary of 37,050 Canadian dollars per year. There you go guys. Yan ang top 15 in-demand jobs in Canada this 2020. Here's a bit of a bonus. Alam nyo ba na dahil sa COVID-19 pandemic, ayon sa LinkedIn, the likes of Walmart, Amazon, and lahat ng essential industries are definitely hiring at this time. Ano sa tingin nyo guys? Kasama ba yung job nyo sa mga in-demand? Baka it's time for a switch para pag nandito na kayo sa Canada, alam nyong in-demand na rin kayo. Sana kahit papano, nalinawan kayo on the path that you will be taking, lalo na kung mag-a-apply kayo or pupunta kayo dito sa Canada. Again, this is PPC and we will try to upload 2 videos per week para maging guide nyo rin pag andito na kayo. Don't forget to subscribe or like or comment kung may natutunan kayo kahit konti. See you here in Canada. Are you thinking of migrating to Canada? Well, this video might be for you. Canada. Love it, hate it, and all the feelings in between. This post will probably take a lot of hit, but I will tell this story to share my experiences, bare, no sugarcoating, hoping you can get inspiration, learn from my mistakes, and probably do a lot better than I did. January of 2019, when I fully landed in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. If you have followed some of my previous posts with Pinoy professionals to Canada, you may know that I came from Dubai, United Arab Emirates in the Middle East, after working for more than a decade. I managed to get Canadian permanent residency through Federal Skilled Worker or FSWP, which is now under Express Entry. Today is May 3rd, 2020. What has been changed? What about my experiences for the past more than a year, and what I am looking forward to, along with some major tips. However, I leave it all for you to assess if it applies to your situation or not. Let's start. Number 1. If you and your family plan on going to Canada, please do so as soon as possible. Of course, caveat yan to your current situation. Ayusin mo agad lahat ng paperworks habang bata ka pa. Habang tumatanda ka, bumababa yung points mo, and of course, your adaptability becomes harder and harder. After getting permanent residency, you will have 2 to 3 years to prepare even outside of Canada, but make sure to come back for 2 years in a 5 years cycle to renew your residency. Number 2 tips. Ito yung realization ko, and this is no bias intent. If you are below 29 years old, you have the perfect edge. Should I have known before, I would have gone here at that age. The earlier kasi that you can get that 3 years required for Canadian citizenship, the more freedom it can give you. In case na bumalik ka man sa country where you earn a lot or stay here in Canada for good. Plus, at this age, your integration could be a lot easier given that you have a small room for mistakes to be back in school or maybe take the student loan and pay it off eventually. Number 3. To those in 30s or 40s, I will be speaking to you as someone who already have established a good foundation in your profession. Maybe you are doing this for your family or just for your growth. Please start searching for a few international certificates that are well recognized in Canada. If you don't have the time and resources, this is my personal advice. Bridge your working experience, not your school education. Make yourself bankable, ika nga. Sobrang debatable kasi nito. Canada is all for skills. Sa experiences ko, they would rather choose someone with skills over someone with just degree or masters. Number 4. Save in the current country you are in now. Whether sa Philippines pa yan, sa Hong Kong, sa Singapore, sa Dubai, or kahit sa Qatar or anywhere else in the world. Most likely, you can never get the same amount of savings dito sa Canada. They will treat you here as local, wala nang expat privileges like 30 or 45 days vacation leave. You will only have 2 weeks from the start. Number 5. The sooner you land here, the sooner you can adjust. And the sooner you'll realize na it is not all bed of roses. You need to be teachable and carry with you tons of patience and perseverance. Number 6. Please, as a professional, don't just jump into conclusion that you have to start doing this menial job. Advice to sa akin ng Canadian boss ko sa Dubai na ina-advise ko din sa inyo. Jumping into a menial job will rob your chances of landing on a better job for a lot of reasons. Instead, set aside extra resources until makahanap ka ng work that you can start over. There are a lot of office jobs available that pays well enough to start if you know where to look for it. Knowledge here is always the key. Number 7. Karamihan ng Pilipino here works really hard on a job they don't really love. This is very debatable, by the way. Because they have always bills to pay. Bills ng rent, bills ng sasakyan, bill ng credit card, mortgage, etc. I speak for many Filipinos, and most of them doesn't even have savings nor investments. Sad reality is, baon pa sila sa utang. To their defense, ang dali naman talagang umutang sa Canada. Mahirap lang talagang makawala kung wala ka talagang disiplina. Number 8. You can't easily get rich in Canada. Staying as an employee is never a guarantee of financial wealth kasi sa paglaki ng kita mo, paglaki rin ng tax mo. It could go up to 40% and yun ang realidad dito sa Canada. Number 9. Whatever the status of your application, make sure na buo ang loob mo or don't process at all. No gray area, no in-between. Hindi pwedeng soft-hearted ka kasi you will be competing with highly qualified professionals, so being equipped with goals will keep you motivated. Number 10. Being professionals who have worked with diverse culture, you have a bigger edge. We are a bunch of resilient nation. And with the right knowledge and even mentor, trust me, you'll do good here in Canada. Number 11. Huwag matakot sa sariling multo. Bago ako pumunta dito, ang dami kong takot talaga at what ifs. Wala akong kilala sa Canada. Single ako. Walang sasalo sa akin in case madapaman ako. Established ako sa Dubai. Paano kung hindi ako makahanap ng work? Kahit alam ko namang pinaghandaan ko ito. Pero nawala lahat ng takot nung andito na ako. It is never that hard kagaya ng inaasahan at iniisip ko noon. Dumali siguro kasi nga napaghandaan ko naman. Sabi ko nga, with right connections, mentors, and resources, for sure, kayang-kaya nyo din. Number 12. Living in Canada is like living in the Philippines. With lesser family support but packed up with better environment, better infrastructure, security, and maybe society in general. So for some who doesn't want to spend the rest of their life in the Philippines after working in transit-faced countries like Dubai or Singapore, make sure to start that Canadian time investment. Number 13. Nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow is never a promise to anyone. So make sure na magbayad pa rin kayo ng SSS and pag-ibig in the Philippines because you'll never know. You might want to come back on the sunset stage of your life. Number 14. Invest in the Philippines if you can. Our Philippines is a sleeping giant. So panalo pa rin in the future kung marami kang properties or investment din sa Pilipinas. Lastly, although nakaka-pressure ang living in the now and thinking ahead, make sure you enjoy the journey. Masaya din naman ang uncertainty minsan. We just have to trust God and believe na what it is for us will always be given to us in His perfect time. As we start in a new decade of 2020, I wish nothing but the very best for your family. Do what you think is right. Canada is a very good country and I couldn't stress that more enough. Someday, sana ma-meet ko rin kayo dito sa Canada and we can exchange our stories. Canada is a land of opportunities and we will all be waiting for you here. But for now, on this COVID-19 pandemic, make sure to wash your hands, stay safe, and spend quality time with your family. Again, this is Pinoy Professionals to Canada. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if this somehow inspires you a little. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next videos. I am very established in my profession in Dubai. I have a very good and stable job in Singapore. I earn a very big salary in Qatar. I am a doctor in India. My family owns a business in the Philippines. Given these circumstances, do you think it is still worth moving to Canada? This is the question that we are about to answer on the fourth video of Pinoy Professionals to Canada. Welcome to this YouTube channel. Again, we are Pinoy Professionals to Canada, and we are here to support you guys in your journey to Canada by sharing our own personal experiences and learnings. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so and hit the bell button so you'll get notification on our future uploads. Before we start, we just want to let you know that everything that you will learn from this channel is based on personal experiences of members, so please don't consider this as a professional legal advice. It is not easy to move in a new country. You will have to give up most of the things you were accustomed to. You will need to leave your family, your friends, and the places you basically grew up with. You will have to start all over again. You will have to adjust to new culture, new lifestyle, new way of life. These are just some of the valid concerns for everyone wanting to move to Canada. Depending on your different reasons for the possible move, let's understand why would someone consider moving to Canada anyways. Here's an insight from someone who has been an established professional who chooses to give up his career to chase that Canadian dream, speaking from my heart to your heart. The immediate answer on why you might consider moving to Canada depends on your personal goals. Are you moving to Canada for shorter or longer term? Few factors vary depending on the length of stay you intended to. For the purpose of this video, we'll consider that all of you watching now wanted to fully migrate in Canada. Since everything depends on your personal circumstances, I would ask you to get a pen and paper and list down these things and answer it wholeheartedly. The first factor you would need to consider is your available resources. This is very important. Canadian immigration process could be very difficult, expensive, and time-consuming. It entails a lot of paperwork, from getting IELTS, to gathering all your work experiences, and to getting your Canadian education equivalency. It would also need a lot of resources. For express entry alone, you have to show proof of funds of almost 13,000 Canadian dollars for a single immigrant. It is not cheap at all. Immigration process could also take time, so you would be needing tons of patience and dedication. Second factor you might want to consider is employment or possible job opportunities. I am creating this video in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, and just like any other countries, Canadian job market was hammered by it. You would see lesser than normal job openings. However, during the pre-COVID-19 time, this is not the case, and you would see a lot of hiring and job opportunities. The average national unemployment rate in Canada hovered between 5 and 6%, so you would have to make sure you are competitive enough to survive Canada. I hope you are also using this time to improve your craft and learn some new skills. Third factor is earning and saving money. If you are moving to Canada to earn and save more money, Canada may not be the best recommended places to do so. In Canada, as your salary gets higher, so is your taxes. Plus, with the cost of living in Canada, you probably will have only few hundreds or less to save unless you do 2 or 3 jobs. If you are looking to earn a lot of money, you may still want to stay in your current job because as a new immigrant, you would hear a lot about Canadian experience, which is very important to majority of employers. Quality of life is the fourth factor you would consider. Paid by your taxes, your kids will have free education until high school, and all of your family members will have access to healthcare. Canada is also one of the safest countries in the world, with lesser crime matched with clean air and water. The public transportation, the infrastructure, it is all there to assure that you will have a sustainable life in Canada as long as you also do your part. You will also have enough family time as Canada values work-life balance. The fifth factor that you would consider is the privilege of acquiring Canadian citizenship. Once you became a permanent resident, staying and contributing to Canadian economy for about 3 years, you will be eligible for acquiring the Canadian passport. Canadian passport often ranks as one of the most powerful in the world, and this could give you a definite advantage and could open lots of opportunities to you and your family. You might need to consider the harsh climate in Canada as a sixth factor. I am making these videos from Vancouver, British Columbia, which is situated on the west coast of Canada. In Vancouver, we only experience 10 days of snow per year on the average, but significantly gets a lot of rain due to its proximity to Pacific Ocean. For some other provinces, winter are just hard to bear for some and could last for months. It is very important that you check all the provinces and territories before you decide to move. We can make a separate video in the future to discuss the provinces of Canada. Economic strength and stability could be your seventh factor. Canada has one of the strongest economies in the world. During this pandemic alone, Canada literally allotted a lot of resources to its residents to support them on their needs, especially when they lose their job or they have to stop working to cater family members who's sick. Canada has been very proactive in helping its residents, and we couldn't thank the government enough. Multicultural and diverse community could be something you might consider as the eighth factor. As we mentioned earlier, moving to a new country and starting all over again could be very challenging, but when you see a community that speaks the same language, adjustment could be a little easier. The ninth factor you may want to consider is Canada's proximity to the United States. Okay, I know most of us had at one point dreamed of working in the United States. This dream that you kept on the back of your mind could also become possible once you get that Canadian passport. Canadians can work in the United States on a TN visa, and you will have access to more employment opportunities should you wish to apply. No religion, gender, and political persecution could be the 10th factor you'll consider. In Canada, you are free to express what you believed in as long as you keep that respect with other communities. Canadians has always been associated to being the kindest nation, and I couldn't speak enough truth of that. Of course, just like any other countries, there are a few exceptions, but in general, as a collectively whole, we at Pinoy Professionals to Canada experience very warm welcome in often cold Canada. There you have it, guys. These are some of the considerations that you might consider if you really want to move to Canada. Can you trade your position against all of this? Are you willing to go to all that hardship? Not everyone gets blessed enough to land on their preferred job at the start. But if you remain teachable and patient, top your shoulder for us. I know you'll do good here. As we start to grow our channel, I hope you guys can share this video if you find it useful. Also, If we missed anything, please feel free to comment. Or you can also suggest topic on our upcoming uploads. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next videos. Once again, see you all here in Canada. After watching our previous video, you finally decided, yes, I will move to Canada. So what are my options? Can you provide an overview on the available programs or pathways for me? Okay. Canada has over 60 pathways, and we will touch base on some of them on this video of Pinoy Professionals to Canada. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so and kindly share and hit the bell button so you'll get notification on our future uploads. A gentle reminder again that all the information in this video is based on personal experiences and members' research, so please don't consider this as a legal professional advice. We are not an immigration consultants, and most of the information here too is referenced to Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada website. Let's begin. So you are planning to move to Canada permanently, and you don't know where to start. Well, we got you covered. First, we need to understand why you should apply for permanent resident status if you can. Permanent resident status gives you the legal right to work and live anywhere in Canada as long as you want it. There are 10 provinces in Canada that you can choose to stay to, which is great. Now, how I can do that? How I can be a permanent resident? Over the next 3 years, Canada plan to accept over 1 million immigrants through different pathways. Canadian immigration system for permanent resident application is now categorized in 4 immigration process. Number 1, Family Sponsorship Program. Family Sponsorship Program allows Canadian and Canadian permanent resident to sponsor their spouse and common law partner, their children, and other dependents. Canadian government fully recognizes that being separated from family members is very challenging. Hence, few guidelines has been released to secure a smoother family reunification for Canadian citizen and Canadian permanent resident. The second category for getting permanent residency status is through humanitarian and refugee pathways. Refugees are for people escaping persecution, while humanitarian is accepted in Canada for compassionate reasons. The third category is business or entrepreneur program. If you by any chance has huge amount of savings and investment and you wanted to bring that over to Canada, this program could be the best suited for you. The fourth and last immigration category is probably the most popular among them all. It is economic migration. Economic migration is probably the most used and, as I've said, the most popular pathway, as this program helps those with relevant work experiences and high level of education to settle in Canada. There are several subcategories under economic migration, one of which is express entry, which also has 3 subcategories, which is federal skilled, federal trades, and Canadian experience class. Economic migration also includes Quebec Skilled Worker Program, Provincial Nominee Program where Canadian provinces target applicants depending on their shortage of skills and demographic needs. There are also new pathways like Atlantic Immigration Pilot, As I've mentioned a while ago, Canadian Experience class is also under economic migration. Canadian Experience class is designed to attract expatriates who have completed their work or study in Canada within the last 3 years. All of these economic migration programs will be discussed fully, and the dedicated separate videos will be made to understand each requirements and qualifications. That is the 4 pathways for Canadian residency. However, if you are not eligible for any of it, maybe you may want to consider going to Canada under work permit before transitioning to permanent resident status. Working in Canada has a lot of benefits, which includes highly reliable Canadian labor law and work safety. Majority of the work permit holders require job offer from Canadian employer, and you may want to utilize the Canadian resume format that we discussed on this pop-up video when submitting your resume on different Canadian job websites. Very popular work permit pathway, specifically to Filipinos, are through Home Child Care Provider Pilot or Home Support Worker Pilot Program, which is referred to before as caregiver programs. This also has a direct path now to permanent residency. If you also can't find work, maybe you can consider coming to Canada on a student visa. Canada is a home of top-notch universities and colleges. Aside from the quality education that you can get here, after completing your school program, you may also be eligible for a postgraduate work permit. Postgraduate work permit will give you an opportunity to work to Canada and later apply under Canadian Experience Class Economic Migration. Your Canadian education plus your Canadian work experience will surely give you the edge. Depending on your resources, choosing between colleges and university could also be challenging, along with the provinces you intended to study. It is also relevant noting that international students in Canada can be very costly, so you may want to make sure that you and your family is prepared to shell out significant amount for this Canadian education. That is the overview of the current and available pathways to Canada. Just to recap, for permanent residency pathway, there's 4 categories: family sponsorship, humanitarian and refugee, business and entrepreneur, and of course, economic migration. If ineligible yet, going to Canada under work permit or student visa is an alternative pathway to set your foot on the Maple Country. Please always make sure to check the Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, our IRCC website, to check on the latest immigration streams. Canadian immigration websites provide all the necessary information in your application, and if you can have a lot of time or set a lot of time to read and understand it, you will pull through this application with flying colors. I hope you guys got an idea on which path you may take depending on your circumstances. If you find this video helpful, please share it to some of your connections as they may find this information helpful too. Kindly hit the subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications of our future uploads. To suggest the topic, please feel free to comment down below or visit our Facebook page, which is also linked in the description section of this video. See you all again next time, and may God bless us all. Nag-iisip ka ba ngayon kung paano ka makakapunta ng Canada? Gusto mo bang makahanap ng trabaho? Saan ka nga ba magsisimula? Ito ang mga sasagutin natin sa video na ito ng Pinoy Professionals to Canada. Hi guys, and welcome again sa Pinoy Professionals to Canada YouTube channel, where we guide aspiring professionals on your journey papunta dito sa Canada. Unti-unti na tayong lumalaki and gusto lang naming magpasalamat sa inyong lahat sa patuloy ninyong mga pagsuporta. Mas ginaganahan kaming gumawa ng mga videos dahil sa inyo. Kung meron man kayong mga suggested topics, please feel free to comment. Tapos, pakishare na din ang video para makatulong din tayo sa iba. Our video today will give some tips on how and where to find jobs in Canada. On our previous videos, we have prepared and polished our resume And on this video, we will guide you on how to search and apply for jobs. So, you are outside of Canada, or you just recently moved to Canada, or you just want to change on your career. Here's a PPC guide on how you can do that. Simulan na natin. Our first advice is to reconnect with your family and friends in Canada. Being in Canada, chances are yung family mo or yung friends mo may know some hiring sa mga pinapasukan nilang trabaho or sa mga kakilala nila. Many jobs in Canada are not advertised, and dito talaga papasok ang iyong mga connections. Yun yung tinatawag nila na hidden job market. If someone you know in Canada, say, dating colleague mo who knows your skills, wala namang masama na mag-reconnect ka sa kanila kasi they may assist you in finding job while you were there in your current country. Say, sa Pinas man yan, sa Dubai, or sa Singapore. Marami sa job dito is being filled without being advertised. And if you can access those jobs through your connections, you'll increase your chances of finding one. Pangalawang tips on finding job is to search for the company you would want to work with or sa mga companies na related sa professions mo, including yung mga competitions ng company mo. Most likely, it will start from there. Using the Canadian format that we did, ipasa mo lang on their career section. And gaya din ng sinabi natin before, have your resume tailored on the job you are applying to. Make sure that the relevant keywords and your technical skills are highlighted so you can easily pass that screening, and hopefully, it will help you land an interview. Your professional organization could be your best bet of finding jobs as a third way. Say kung project manager ka, try to connect to Project Management Institute local chapter na gusto mong puntahan or applyan to network with project managers on that area. This also works say kung doctor ka. You may want to have yourself involved with doctors' organization as they can also share few techniques on how you can set your foot in any hospital or company that you want to start with. Growing and finding your connections here is the key. Job Canadian websites is the fourth bet to see who's hiring. Yun nga lang, as this is highly used and halos lahat ng tao, mapa-Canada man yan or nasa ibang bansa pa, this is their way of application, kaya most of the time, it is really challenging. Pero, sinasabi ko, hindi rin to imposible. Marami pa ring mga kakilala kami dito sa Pinoy Professionals to Canada na nakapunta dito through job offers and they did their applications outside of Canada. Andyan ang mga job sites like government-owned Job Bank, Glassdoor, Indeed, Eluta, at marami pang ibang Canadian job websites. We can discuss Canadian job websites on another video. Our fifth advice is to maximize the use of LinkedIn. Sa mga hindi nakakaalam, LinkedIn is a professional social media platform. It is something that you have to utilize while nasa ibang bansa ka pa o bago ka pa lang dito sa Canada. Gaya ng ibang job search websites, you can also find some hiring posts here. But what makes LinkedIn stand out is that chance to connect with anyone, let's say from your future boss or your future company. As I have mentioned before, it is easier to get a job if you have a network of contacts and letting them know that you are actually looking for new opportunities. Consider and explore alternative jobs is our sixth advice. Okay. As a professional, we may lack some of the necessary skills that are needed in Canada. So, we may want to explore other jobs na baka naman pwede nating pagtiyagaan as our entry to Canada. Isa sa pinakamagandang example dito ay yung caregiver pathway for nurses. Karamihan ng mga caregiver dito have nursing background and yun talaga ang ginawa nilang entry. Naghanap sila ng employer online, got interviewed, and eventually got hired. Napakaraming member ng Pinoy professionals ang nanggaling sa caregiver pathway and now, mga permanent resident na sila and yung iba nga, mga citizen na. Napakataas din ang demand ng mga skilled trade workers. So if you don't mind working on those field, you can pretty much try it just to set your foot on the maple country. Of course, bago mo gawin to, napakaraming considerations ang kailangan mong i-assess and lahat ng ito ay magbe-base kung gaano mo ka gustong lumipat ng Canada. Seventh is to use headhunters and agencies. Gusto ko lang linawin na job recruitment agencies ang sinasabi ko dito. If you can find agency na nagpapaalis sa Pilipinas papuntang Canada, please try to apply there. Kailangan lang talaga ng extra ingat kasi maraming manloloko sa panahon ngayon. Rule of thumb, if it is too good to be true, most likely scam yon. Pag hinihingan ka na ng kung ano-anong fee, you have to think few times before paying it. Mag-check lang din sa mga legal platforms kagaya ng POEA website para sa mga job orders. Our 8th advice is applicable to those who have recently landed. When you recently arrived in Canada, you have government support available, and one of it is social assistance on finding job. Being connected with Service Canada Center will give you access to hidden job market that is only posted within their network. Often, Service Canada also have free trainings and seminar that will help you boost your market visibility either through strengthening your technical skills, communication skills, and many other. Being new in Canada is challenging, which makes our 9th advice helpful. Ito yung pag-attend mo sa mga job fairs within your community and a little beyond that. In all job fairs, you have an opportunity to meet with your potential employers and other applicants that you can exchange and share your experience and stories. This actually works in a lot of cases na yung mga applicants have become family, friends here in Canada and have built a long-lasting relationship. Mahalaga lang na maging open ka sa mga opportunities lalo na at nag-a-apply ka pa lang din and ikaw ang manliligaw kumbaga. In attending this kind of event and job fairs, please make yourself presentable. If finding job is still challenging after you landing here, you may want to consider volunteering first, and this makes up to our 10th advice. Okay, this has no monetary pay, but volunteering can pay you on another aspect. One of it is it will give you Canadian experience. Second, it will enhance your communication skills as you constantly talk to people. Napapractice ka, ika nga. This is also a perfect opportunity for you to meet new friends within your community and start building that circle of network. Searching for volunteering opportunity could be easier, and as I've mentioned, experience and integration is your pay here. There you go, guys. Our 10 advices on finding jobs in Canada. Alin na dito yung mga nasubukan nyo? Meron pa ba kaming ibang na-miss? Please feel free to comment. Maraming salamat ulit sa mga nag-subscribe na at sa mga hindi pa, please subscribe and hit the bell button para ma-update kayo sa aming mga recent uploads. Again, tayo ang Pinoy professionals to and in Canada. Tulungan tayo. Let's always empower each other to be the best version of ourselves. We will see you all again on our next videos. Engineer ako, nurse ako, accountant naman ako, doktor din ako. Pagdating ko ba sa Canada, mapapractice ko ba yung profession ko? Makakredit ba lahat ng work experience ko internationally? Ano nga ba yung mga regulated professions at alin ang hindi? Ano ang mga pinagkaiba nila? Ang regulated at non-regulated professions ang ating i-discuss sa video na ito ng Pinoy Professionals to Canada. But please stay tuned until the end kasi may bonus tayong information that will surely help you on your journey to Canada. Alam nyo ba na about 20% ng trabaho sa Canada ay regulated? Ang regulated professions ay yung mga professions na governed by provincial, territorial, and federal authority. Ito yung mga trabahong kalimitan ay nasa field ng medical, dental, engineering, law, finance, education, and even some trade occupations like electricians and plumbers. Canada regulates these professions to protect the health and safety of the general public. Non-regulated professions naman consist of 80% of the jobs. They are hired at the discretion of the employer. Since you are planning to move to Canada, kailangan mong alamin kung regulated ba or non-regulated ang profession mo. You can do your own research on this as you know your occupation better. For the purpose of this video, uunahin na natin ang non-regulated professions. Sample ng non-regulated professions are administrative executive, management consultant, construction manager, financial analyst, at marami pang iba. If your profession is non-regulated, you can directly apply to any job that you are qualified. Qualified means you still have to show that you have the proper education, the work experience, and napakahalaga, the proper skills to deliver the job. Sa non-regulated professions, ang tinitingnan ng mga most employers ay competence, right personal qualities, and syempre, soft skills for the job. Even though non-regulated professions doesn't require certain certificates or degree to actually perform, mabuti pa rin na meron kang backup certificates or degree that will make you stand out among the other applicants. Even your occupation is non-regulated, on the selection process, employers have all the right to ask for your credentials. Sa mga non-regulated professions, it will also be interesting to know the Canadian equivalency of your degree. Assessment body like World Education Services or WES and International Qualifications Assessment can give you the Canadian equivalency of your Philippines degree in Canada. Sa regular profession naman, you need a license or certificate from a regulatory body that governs the occupation to be employed in that field in Canada. Say sa engineering, you need to be a professional engineer before you can practice and actually seal any plans. As I previously mentioned, about 20% ng occupation set their standards on how this profession will be practiced, katulad na rin ng nursing. So ano nga ba ang una mong gagawin kung nasa regulated profession ka? Una, alamin mo muna ang organization responsible for the recognition of your profession. Alamin mo yung mga requirements nila. You just have to be careful sa province and territories kasi this might varies. Prepare your requirements kahit habang nasa ibang bansa ka pa. Normally, ito yung mga academic credentials like your diploma, your transcript, and detailed courses outlines. They will assess all of this with your work experience, and depending on that, they'll decide if they will grant you the designation or they will require you to bridge and study and take few exams to test your knowledge on your profession. Minsan, kasama rin sa ina-assess nila ang iyong criminal record, proof of language competency, and sometimes reference check. Once you passed, congratulations! Professional regulatory body will issue certificate of competency, and this will be your license to practice. Bridging and obtaining license to practice on your regulated profession can take so much time, effort, and money. Kaya habang wala ka pa sa level na yon, ang ginagawa ng karamihan dito is to enter on the job market on a lower position at magbaon ng napakaraming tiyaga habang tinatapos ang certification and licensing process. Napakarami ring cases dito sa Canada na sa mag-asawa, yung isa yung nagtatrabaho while nagbe-bridge yung isang asawa, then pagkatapos, tsaka sila magpapalit ng situation. Yun ang regulated at non-regulated professions dito sa Canada. But here's the biggest bonus trick. Kahit nasa regulated professions kayo, kagaya ko na engineer, meron pa ring chances for me to take alternative job na hindi regulated. Sa case ko as an engineer, I took the construction project manager route. Kung engineer ka and you're also considering this route, please make sure to take internationally recognized certificate like project management professional, as this will definitely brings value sa lahat ng applications mo. Napakaraming alternative careers na somehow related pa rin sa profession mo na pwede mong kunin while you do the bridging. Like what we always advise, just stay open with all the possibility and opportunities that is coming your way. Mahirap talaga sa una sa Canada, and dito sumusuko ang napakaraming new immigrants. Pero with the right guidance and mentors, I am sure you will do good in the end. Tiyagain mo lang ng konti pa. Andyan ang mga colleagues natin na mga Filipino engineers, Filipino nurses, mga Filipino technicians who are always there to assist. You just have to look for them in the right platform, in the right places. Sana may natutunan kayo sa video na to, guys, and salamat ulit sa walang sawang pagsuporta sa Pinoy Professionals to Canada. Gumagawa kami ng mga videos para sa inyo, so please keep that support coming. We hear all your suggestions and it is all in the pipeline, so please stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit the bell button for notifications. Again, tayo dito sa Pinoy Professionals, we are always trying to empower each other. We have to bring out the very best of each other by supporting each of our kababayan. You please stay safe, keep soaring high mga kabayan, and God bless you all. Tinry mo na ba lahat ng pathway para makapag-migrate ka sa Canada? Kahit anong effort mo ba, mababa pa rin ang CRS score mo at hindi ka pa rin mabigyan ng invite ng Express Entry Program? Nakailang application ka na rin ba at hindi pa rin nagiging successful? Baka naman ang student visa ang magiging entry mo papunta dito sa Canada. Ramdam naming lahat ang paghihirap mo sa immigration system ng Canada. Bakit naman hindi? You are basically competing with the rest of the world. Hindi lang tayong mga Pilipino ang nangangarap na balang araw makarating dito sa Canada. Kaya, kung may mas madaling way, bakit hindi natin na-explore? Ang student visa ang ating tatalakayin sa video na ito ng Pinoy Professionals Canada. But before we start, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share if you can. Pilit pa namin inaayos ang mga videos and your support will definitely continue motivating us para sa mga ganitong content. Canada has always been ranked worldwide with the quality of its education system. So, you finally decided na gusto mong pumunta ng Canada para mag-aral on a student visa. Saan ka nga ba magsisimula? Ano ang mga dapat mong i-prepare on an overview? Ano ang mga dapat mong expect? Ito ang ilan sa mga sasagutin natin sa video na ito. Ang 5 steps on how to be a Canadian international student. Unang-una na dapat mong i-assess ay yung financial capability mo. Napakalaki ng pera na kailangan sa pag-aaral sa Canada kasi yung international students, they pay 3 to 5 times more than the domestic students or yung mga permanent residents at citizens of Canada. Based sa mga initial informations we have, ang gastos might range between 400,000 pesos to more than 1 million pesos. Yung exact amount will always vary on a lot of factors like yung institution, saang province ka nag-move, saang city ka ba, or sa medyo rural ka nag-settle. Second step na dapat mong gawin is to do your own research. Medyo mahaba to guys. Matrabaho kasi ang student visa pathway. You have to decide if you would need to hire an agency to assist you on paperworks or mag-DIY ka na lang or do it yourself. Through an agency, they will assist you on your paperworks para wala kang ma-miss if ever. But, if you have a good attention to detail, sobrang possible na maayos mo itong lahat by yourself. Next is, ano-ano ba yung mga dapat mong i-research? Kailan mo ba planong magsimula mag-aral? There are 3 available intakes in Canada: September or fall intake, January or winter intake, at saka May or spring-summer intake. This is very important para alam mo rin kung anong season ka dadating sa Canada so you can prepare for it in advance. As I mentioned a while ago, kailangan din alamin mo kung saang province ka mag-aaral. As a rule of thumb, pumunta ka sa Canadian province na meron kang general support, whether family mo pa yan or matalik na kaibigan. If you have relatives or family in Canada, your integration will always be a lot easier as they can assist you and help you on your adjustments as you start your new life studying here. Kung wala ka namang kakilala sa Canada, you can message us sa Pinoy Professionals Canada and we can give you an insights on the provinces. Pagkatapos ng provinces, you have to consider the school. Mas mahal ang tuition fee sa universities kesa sa colleges, so depending on your available funds, you can choose the school that you plan to attend to. Better rin na mag-submit ka sa ilang colleges or universities. Hindi rin lahat ng school offers Postgraduate Work Permit or yung PGWP. Yung Postgraduate Work Permit gives a Canadian graduate to stay in Canada and work. Yung number of years on PGWP depends on the number of years of your program. Ang mga requirements heavily varies from one school to another, so your due diligence here is the key. Napakahalaga din na malaman mo kung anong course ang pag-aaralan mo and ano yung mga prerequisites nito. Okay sana kung related siya sa degree mo nung college, or kung hindi man, kailangan mong i-assess ang sarili mo kung passionate ka ba about sa course na ito. Mahalaga rin na malaman mo kung may demand ba yung course na kukunin mo in case man na magstay ka sa Canada and work under PGWP. Make sure that you have all the time to do all this research in advance. Third step is to get acceptance letter from a designated learning institutions or DLI. Please always make sure that the school is a designated learning institutions. Canadian government websites has all this information. So, alam mo na yung universities na a-applyan mo. You will have to prepare all the necessary documents. Do what you need to do in order to get that acceptance. Gaya din ng sinabi ko, apply ka sa 2 or 3 school if possible. This will take a lot of additional documents and research, so you better set a lot of time to do this. Isa sa pinakamalaking requirements ng halos lahat ng school sa Canada is yung academic IELTS. IELTS is an English proficiency test and meron siyang 4 bands, which is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. This proficiency test is in place to ensure that you will understand the lessons in school and converse with your classmates, as English is one of the main language here. After your application on the DLI or designated learning institutions, they will give you an acceptance letter. Congratulations! Yung acceptance letter, they will include the program that you will be enrolling, kung kailan ito magsisimula, at syempre kung kailan ito matatapos. Yung acceptance sa DLI is one of the mandatory requirements on our 4th step. 4th step is your application for student visa. Yung ibang requirement dito includes police clearance. Sa Pilipinas, ito yung NBI clearance that sometimes takes time. So, you may have to consider applying this in advance. Baka kakailanganin mo din ng police clearance from other countries that you stayed in, so you have to check this further. You also need to provide study visa payment confirmation, which you can do online. The current fee as of this recording is 150 Canadian dollars. Along with these documents, most likely, kakailanganin mo din ng medical certificate, employment certificate, ang iyong TOR or transcript of records, ang iyong diploma, resume, bank records, at maybe birth certificate. Mahalaga din to make sure that all the forms are completely filled and have a second eye or third eye to cross-check on it. Applying student visa application can be done either online or through VFS. With all the documents you prepared, isubmit lang ito or i-upload and wait for the result. Depending sa bansa, it could range from 3 to 12 weeks yung result. Sa Philippines, as of this recording, processing time is within 10 weeks. I allotted the 5th step as you flying here and adjusting to Canada. There are a lot like you who are students here, and we are here for you as your network. While you are studying here in Canada, you will be allowed to work for 20 hours per week. Malaking tulong na rin ito para sa gastusin mo dito sa Canada. So huwag kang matakot mag-take ng risk, lalo na if you are preparing for it. Napakahalaga ng preparation kahit saang journey, and if you come prepared, medyo mas dadali ang lahat, lalo pag andito ka na. Believe me, you will always do good here in Canada as long as masipag ka and kaya mo namang mag-adjust. Just try to be teachable. Ika nga. If may na-miss ako sa 5 steps na to, please feel free to comment. Tuloy-tuloy lang ang buhay mga ka-PPC. And we will see you all again here in Canada. Please share and subscribe. And till next videos. Ingat guys! Iniisip mo ba ngayon dahil sa nangyayari sa mundo na gusto mo nang pumunta ng Canada? Dahil ba yun sa security, stability, at better quality of life that Canada can offer? Canada is not all beds of roses. Sabi nga nila, even roses have their thorns. And kung pumunta ka sa Canada expecting only the good side of it, then you might be on for a very good challenge. Narito ang 10 PPC guide bakit wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada. Number 1. Wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada if you have a very high career expectations tapos takot ka and hindi mo kayang magsimula from scratch. Kasama na dito yung mga not willing or not ready to change their job profile or be flexible on their job role. Ito ang concern ng lahat ng immigrants na unang nakapunta ng Canada. As brutally honest as we can be, Canada values Canadian experiences, and although maayos ang naging trabaho mo o mataas na ang position mo sa ibang bansa, hindi necessarily mean na makukuha mo ang same positions agad dito. Canadians doesn't look on your previous salary or position outside of Canada that much. They will look on your certifications and technical skills. Some immigrants have started doing menial jobs kahit supervisor na sila before. Canadian employers also look at your possible adoption to their existing company culture. In Canada, reality is most managers have to start back in operation and gain that Canadian experience until they were on their way to the top again. It is a gradual process, but I will tell you, it is all worth it. Ito yung i-enjoy mo lang. Oo, hindi ka manager sa ngayon, pero in time, for sure, you will get there. Number 2, wag na wag kang pupunta ng Canada kung iniisip mo na kikita ka kaagad ng malaki. Well, newsflash, it will take a bit time. Kaya baka mabigo ka lang sa una. Yes, Canadian dollars ang sweldo mo dito sa Canada. Pero, Canadian dollars din ang lahat ng expenses mo. Oo, tama rin na pwede kang kumuha ng 2 o 3 pang trabaho. Pero sa Canada, sa paglaki ng sweldo mo, paglaki rin ng taxes na babayaran mo. Although there are few Canadian cities that are relatively cheaper to live, most cities in Canada has a very high cost of living. Most of the workers' salary ay napupunta sa bayad ng mortgage o rent ng bahay, sasakyan, sa kuryente, tubig, at iba-iba pang bills. Number 3, wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada if you can't stand winter. Not everyone is a winter person. So, kung hindi ka naging strategic sa pagpili ng Canadian city where you'll settle, this will be a challenge for you. Canadian winters can go up to minus 40 degrees Celsius on the average, and some provinces bear it for 7 months. Imagine guys, 7 months cold and 5 months fair temperature. Kung sa tingin mo, hindi ka masasanay sa lamig, you may want to move to another country na warmer. Sa winter, hindi ka rin gaanong makakalabas, so you better bring a lot of sunshine para sa sarili mo at para na rin sa pamilya mo. Speaking of family, that goes to my number 4. Wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada kung madali kang ma-homesick. Most part of Canada has a very long winter and talagang nakakalungkot din siya minsan. Mas lalo na kung hindi mo kasama ang pamilya mo. Napakamahal din ang return ticket from Canada to Philippines kaya hindi ka rin kaagad madalas makakauwi. There are technologies available naman to bridge this gap pero dapat matatag ka pa din in case makaramdam ka ng homesick. Number 5. Wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada kung hindi ka risk taker and you always want to play it safe. Sa pag-alis mo dyan sa bansa, maaaring sobrang established ka na and ito yung something na i-risk mo. Make a risk assessment if possible, lalo na if you're starting in a new country. Mahirap sumabak sa giyera nang hindi ka handa, sabi nga nila. Isa pa, hindi ka rin naman mananalo kung hindi mo naman ito susubukan. Sa Canada, oo, madadapa ka siguro sa una. Pero habang patuloy kang bumabangon, makukuha at mararating mo ulit lahat ng sinakripisyo mo. Number 6. Wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada kung hindi ka willing to adapt on a different culture. Canada is a very diverse nation. Napakalaki ng percentage nito are immigrants from different origins. So kung sa tingin mo, hindi mo sila kayang irespeto or magkaka-issue ka being around with other nationalities, then Canada may not be the best place for you. If you can't socialize effectively, you will struggle in a highly diverse Canada. Being here for more than 1 year, I actually find it fun being with few nationalities and learning about their different culture. For sure, makaka-adjust ka din. Subukan mo lang. Number 7. Wag na wag kang pupunta ng Canada kung gusto mo lang ng government support. Yung tipong monthly dadating na lang sa'yo ang pera na ibibigay ng government. Oo, maraming government support ang Canada. Pero may mga criteria yon na kailangan mong ma-meet and at the end of the day, it will always be a give and take relationship between you and the federal government. Number 8. Wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada if you are not willing to do household chores. Yes, issue rin talaga ito dito. Meron kasing ilan sa atin na lumaki ng may yaya, may tagaluto, andyan si nanay, andyan si tatay, si bunso, si kuya, o si ate. Dito, you have to do everything on your own. Napakamahal kumuha ng kasambahay dito na after work mo, ikaw pa rin talaga ang gagawa ng lahat ng household chores. Ikaw ang maglalaba, ikaw yung maghuhugas ng plato, at ikaw yung mamamlansya. So kung sa tingin mo, hindi mo kaya yung ganong setup na ikaw din yung gagawa sa bahay after work, you may want to reconsider going to Canada. Number 9. Wag na wag kang pupunta ng Canada kung mabilis kang sumuko pag nahihirapan. Ang dami mo nang pinagdaanan if ever sa application mo papunta dito. Tapos, nung nahirapan ka dito kasi hindi ka na sanay sa trabaho na hindi mo naman ginagawa na noon sa previous job mo, sumuko ka na. Sabi nila, sa una hanggang 3 o 5 taon, yun ang full adjustment mo dito sa Canada. Our PPC advice is tiisin mo lang if ever. Always remember kung bakit mo ito sinimulan lahat. Number 10. Wag na wag kang pupunta sa Canada if you are not willing to break bad habits. Lahat tayo ay may bad habits na maaari nating madala dito sa Canada. Pinagkaiba lang talaga, dito sa Canada, law is properly executed. So kung meron kang masamang ginagawa sa Pinas na nakakalusot, it might not be the case here in Canada. After hearing these 10 reasons, gugustuhin mo pa rin bang pumunta sa Canada? Was Canada really what you were expecting for? Let us know your views on this, lalo na sa mga nasa Canada na. Again, maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa Pinoy Professionals Canada. And as we upload 2 to 3 videos weekly, please consider subscribing para updated kayo sa lahat ng aming mga uploads. Maraming mga detailed pathways ang on the pipeline, and we are doing research and interviews on our colleagues here in Canada that you may not want to miss kung gusto nyo talagang makapunta ng Canada. Till next videos again guys, stay safe, be kind, and always wash your hands. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Continuing our series, you've finally decided that you will go to Canada. Great! However, Canadian borders was temporarily closed and some immigration and temporary visa processing was significantly slower due to COVID-19. So we were asked, hey PPC, what do you think we should do now? Well, here's a PPC guide on what you can do while you are waiting for your Canadian dream landing. Agreed. Ang dami mong time ngayon. Cancelled yung ibang mga flights at hindi ka makaka-travel. You are working from home, which makes you more flexible. Ano-ano nga ba ang pwede mong i-prepare habang wala ka pa dito sa Canada? Ito ang ating iisa-isahin sa video na ito ng Pinoy Professionals Canada. Let's start. Number 1. Check all the Canadian pathways. Palagi naming sinasabi to always research and ask questions. Ask questions kasi most likely may mga naka-experience na din ito sa mga kakilala mo or sa mga bagong makikilala mo. You can also check the other PPC videos for the Canadian pathways as we have discussed this on one. Andyan din ang mga resources ng ilan sa mga trusted organization partners ng PPC. Kasabay ng pathways, also make sure to get all the requirements and if kaya na, plan your roadmap. Number 2. Get to know more the 10 Canadian provinces and territories. Napakalaki ng Canada guys. Before I moved here, I did a quick comparison of each provinces based on few factors. Mahalaga na kahit papano, ma-trim down mo and ma-identify kung saan ang top 3 provinces and cities na plan mong puntahan backed up ng mga reasons na mahalaga sa'yo, which will lead us, of course, to number 3. Number 3 is habang wala ka pa sa Canada, try to get to know more about the target province or territories, and this includes house pricing, your groceries, the living expenses, average monthly income, and syempre, ang pinakamahalaga, job market sa profession mo. May mga provinces na palagi magsta-stand out over the others para sa profession mo. But you also need to make sure na mako-consider mo ang competition if ever. Say for IT. Alam natin na malaki ang demand ng IT sa Toronto, Ontario at Vancouver, British Columbia compared to other provinces. Pero, hindi lang ikaw ang nakakaalam nito. All other Canadian applicants knows this, kaya most likely, yun din ang mga provinces na pupuntahan nila. Make sure that you will be equipped for a stiff competition if ever you will be choosing these hotspot cities or provinces. Number 4. Search for international certificate that is recognized in Canada. Ito na naman yon, guys. If you have attended few seminars na pinost natin sa PPC Facebook page from our colleagues from Filipino Construction Professionals or PhilConPro, you may have known by now that PMP and LEAD is highly recognized in Canada as an alternative career for engineers until they bridge the professional engineering license. There are also a lot of certifications from other fields that you can search while you have time now and get that certificates. Isa pang tip na mabibigay namin, i-search mo din ang mga certificates na ito sa mga job websites ng Canada like Indeed at Glassdoor kung talagang may demand ang certain certificates na inaay mo para sa field mo. Number 5. Arrange your funds. Napakalaki ng gastos ng migration to Canada. So, if hindi pa consolidated or hindi pa final yung funds na gagamitin mo, this may also be the perfect time to arrange it. Make sure that you know exactly how much is needed, either by study pa yan, for tuition, or yung proof of funds for express entry. For express entry alone, sabi ko nga for a single applicant, the proof of funds is ranging from 13,000 Canadian dollars, hindi pa kasama lahat ng mga expenses sa pag-aayos ng mga papers. Mahalaga that you will have that funds and syempre, a little extra in case something didn't go as planned. Number 6. Review or prepare for IELTS or any English proficiency test that is accepted here in Canada. Either the express entry wherein you will need to take general IELTS tests, or you will study here and you will need an academic IELTS. This is the perfect time para mag-review ka and ma-practice ka on how the questions is being asked. Practice all the bonds, reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and whenever you are ready, you can take that test and have a perfect score for you. Number 7. Work on your resume. We discussed this on our very first video. Now is the time para i-align mo ang resume mo sa Canadian market. As we mentioned before, keep in mind to write your resume with ATS or application tracking system in mind. In most employers here in Canada, the first to review your resume is done by ATS, which only searches relevant keywords and phrases sa resume mo. If wala ang mga job-related keywords na to or phrases, your resume will not even reach HR review and will not be shortlisted. Read the job description na ina-applyan mo and carefully align your CV and use that language or terminology to increase your chances of being shortlisted and having your resume land to the HR personnel who will actually review it and endorse it to the hiring manager. Number 8. Please upskill or sharpen your skills. There are a few ways to do this. You can take few online courses that you think will be relevant in your stay here in Canada. The more courses you take, the more flexible, more experienced, and more skilled you will become, the better your chances of adapting to the Canadian culture. Say, you only know basic Microsoft Excel now. This may be the perfect time to advance the Excel skills and be an advanced Microsoft Excel user. Even yung mga ibang Microsoft skills like Microsoft Visio or Microsoft Project, try to learn this as this will also be helpful in your job search. Number 9, try to learn French. As you may know, French is one of the official language here in Canada. And you will have the perfect edge if you can speak both French and English. With French-speaking skills, you are more likely to be hired in cities like Montreal and the whole province of Quebec. But there is also a strong demand for French and English speakers in other provinces like British Columbia. After hearing this 9 guide, alin na ang mga nasimulan nyo, guys? Marami pa ba kaming ibang na-miss? Let us know your views on this. Again, maraming salamat sa patuloy ng pagsuporta sa Pinoy Professionals Canada. As we upload videos weekly, please consider subscribing para updated kayo sa lahat ng aming mga uploads. Marami pa ring mga detailed pathways are on our pipeline that you may not want to miss kung gusto nyo talagang makapunta dito sa Canada. We are just doing additional research and additional interviews sa mga well-experienced guys on that certain pathways. In this COVID-19 pandemic, always stay safe, be kind, and wash your hands. See you guys again on our next videos. Totoo bang mahirap ang buhay dyan sa Canada? Totoo rin bang baon sa utang ang karamihan ng mga Pilipino dyan? Karamihan nga ba ng mga Pilipino dyan sa Canada ay may 2 o higit pang trabaho? Narinig nyo na rin ba yung sinasabi nila na akala nyo ba madali ang buhay dito sa Canada? Hindi, ang hirap kaya. Ang tunay na buhay sa Canada ang ating i-discuss sa video na ito ng Pinoy Professionals Canada. Bago tayo magsimula, gusto lang naming magpasalamat sa inyong lahat dahil sa over 20,000 minutes watch time at sa 225 solid subscribers. Happy 1 month guys sa ating lahat, and tuloy-tuloy lang tayo as we grow our network and makapagparating pa tayo ng makabuluhang video about sa Canada, paano pumunta sa Canada, at sa buhay ng mga Pilipino dito sa Canada. Ang daming Pilipino na alam kong nahihirapan talaga dito sa Canada. And syempre, meron din namang mga ilan who enjoy their life here, have spread their wings, embraced the hardship, get through it, they soared, they achieved, and now they're living their Canadian dreams. Before we dived in sa topic, gusto lang naming sabihin na ito ay based sa personal experiences namin and does not necessarily reflects all the life of Filipinos here in Canada. We will just want to be as honest and transparent as we can be. Ang hirap at sarap ng buhay ay totoong nakadepende sa napakaraming factors at yun ang iisa-isahin natin sa video na ito. Una na dito, ang isa sa pinakamalaking factor sa hirap ng buhay sa Canada. Yun ay yung visa status. In general, mas mahirap ang magiging buhay mo kung pupunta ka sa Canada on a temporary resident visa gaya ng working visa or student visa as compared sa mga landed immigrant. Unang-una, yung mga landed immigrant have a lot of support the moment they received their certificate of permanent residency. They will have full access on all government social assistance. Isa pa, they can try to search for a job and accept one at their own pace, syempre, in consideration yan to their available resources. Contrary naman to sa working visa holder which may land on a job na hindi talaga nila ine-expect at inaasahan. They could be working for longer hours tapos hindi naman sila sanay. Tapos hindi rin sila makapag-resign kasi yung visa nila is tied to that employer. May mga times din na kulang ang sweldo nila pero hindi naman sila makapag-work outside of their contract kasi hindi yun allowed legally. For student visa naman, yung thought na if ever gugustuhin nila na magstay dito sa Canada after studying, kailangan nilang humanap ng job and actually work full-time, get Canadian experience, then apply for permanent residency. Even situation, international student visa holder pays almost 3 to 5 times more than domestic students, which is yung holder ng PR and Canadian citizen. Pangalawa, napakahirap ng buhay sa Canada kung nasanay ka sa marangyang buhay. Sa Canada, wala ka ng yaya. Ikaw na ang maglalaba, ikaw rin ang magpaplantsa, ikaw na rin ang magluluto, and lahat ng yan gagawin mo pagkatapos ng trabaho mo. Yung ibang galing sa may kayang pamilya ang sobrang nahihirapan sa ganitong setup dito sa Canada. Kailangan nilang gawin yung mga bagay na hindi naman nila ginagawa sa Pilipinas. Pangatlo, napakahirap ng buhay sa Canada lalo na kung wala kang family support. Okay, na-experience ko to personally kaya may personal akong hugot dito. Imagine, pumunta ka ng Canada without knowing a single soul in Vancouver. Pero dahil pinili ko personally ang Vancouver, kailangan kong penindigan yon. Andyan yung mga oras na magkakasakit ka pero sarili mo lang ang pwede mong asahan. Wala ang mama mo na mag-iinit sa'yo ng tubig at magpapainom sa'yo ng gamot. Ang dami ditong mga Pilipino na nalulungkot at nadidepress kasi malayo sila sa mga pamilya nila and yun ang isa sa mga factor kung bakit sumusuko ang iba at pinipili na lang na umuwi ng Pilipinas. Bago tayo magpatuloy, sana nakapag-subscribe ka na kabayan para updated ka palagi sa mga pamilya natin dito sa PPC. Pang-apat, maniwala ka man o hindi, ang city o lugar na pupuntahan mo also determines ng hirap o sarap ng buhay sa Canada. Sa Vancouver, mas mataas ang cost of living. Pareho din to sa Toronto. Hindi ka rin basta-basta makakakuha ng bahay sa Toronto or Vancouver dahil sobrang mahal. Pero maayos naman ang weather sa Vancouver compared to other Canadian cities. Sa ibang provinces, mas mura ang bahay, mas mababa din ang cost of living, but you have to bear harsh winter. Napakarami ng factor ng city na pipiliin mo dahil even sa paghahanap ng trabaho mo, paano ka pupunta ng trabaho or yung commute mo, gaano ito kalayo sa bahay mo, ito ay ilan sa mga factors that will be part of your journey. Ang cost of living versus your salary is also a major consideration kasi iba-iba din ang minimum wage sa bawat Canadian provinces and iba-iba rin ang rate ng mga taxes. So, kung makakapili ka ng provinces na swak sa'yo, for sure kabayan, mas dadali ang buhay mo sa Canada. Panglima, mahirap ang buhay sa Canada dahil sa trabaho at expectations mo dito. Mahirap maghanap ng trabaho at hindi mo talaga dapat asahan na kung nurse ka sa Pilipinas, nurse ka na din dito. More often than not, kailangan nating magsimula from scratch kasi hindi naman nila ino-honor ang mga working experiences natin outside the country. Where we start here highly depends talaga kung gaano tayo kahanda sa pagdating natin dito. Mahirap din talaga ang buhay sa Canada lalo na kung 2 or 3 ang trabaho mo. Ganyan ang buhay ng ilang Pilipino dito, at yun ang realidad ng Canada. Kailangan mo lang talagang mabalance ang income at mga expenses mo. Napakaraming noble reason na hopefully kahit 2 or 3 man yung trabaho mo, it will all pays off in the future at lahat ng paghihirap and sacrifices mo will eventually bear its fruit. Pang-anim, mahirap ang buhay sa Canada kasi not everyone can easily adjust on the new environment. New environment in general includes weather, yung place to stay, yung job hunting mo, yung different cultures, at yung building ng social network at napakarami pang ibang factors. Marami pa ring Pilipino ang hindi makasabay sa bago nilang mundo kaya lalo silang nahihirapan sa paninirahan nila dito sa Canada. Pang-7, ang pagbaba ng expectation sa career mo sa new environment, it will help you a lot para hindi ka gaanong maghirap dito sa Canada. Mahirap ang buhay sa Canada, lalo na sa una. Pero, unti-unti itong dadali as you gain working experience, as you have started building support network, and start climbing that corporate ladder. Sabi nga nila, it may take 1 to 5 years para fully ka maka-adjust dito sa Canada. Basta, steady lang and try to focus on your end goal. At yan ang 7 reason kung bakit sa tingin mo sinasabi ng ibang tao na nahihirapan sila sa Canada. Alam kong marami pa kaming ibang mga na-miss and we can discuss this on a separate video. In the meantime, maraming salamat ulit sa pagsuporta sa PPC and we will see you guys again on our next videos. Keep safe, be kind, and always wash your hands. See you again next time, guys. This Canadian news is everywhere. Canada will welcome over 1 million immigrants in the next 3 years. That is 341,000 for the year 2020 at pataas yan ng pataas hanggang year 2022. Sa video na ito, ating iisa-isahin kung bakit nga ba kailangan ng Canada ang mga katulad mo na immigrants. Simulan na natin. Number 1. Canada is the second largest country in the world. Pero kahit ganon kalaki ang Canada, its population is almost about 38 million as of 2020. Imagine guys, Philippines has 3 times more population than Canada. Napakarami pa rin ng lugar dito sa Canada na kulang pa rin sa mga tao and sa community, which makes it to our very first reason. Canada needs immigrants because it needs people. Lalong-lalo na sa mga rural at Atlantic provinces, kaya naman maraming immigration pathway ang binubuksan ng Canada para i-attract ang ibang mga aspiring immigrants to choose lesser populated cities and lesser dense provinces. Number 2. Canada has a shortage of skilled professionals and trades. Yes, this is true. Napakarami pa rin ang vacancy dito sa Canada and dahil sa skills mismatched, nahihirapan pa rin ang mga employers to fill that gap. Training someone will cost them more money rather than getting it from outside. Yan yung palaging sinasabi ng mga employers dito. Kaya dito rin papasok ang solution ng mga immigrants. With experienced immigrants bringing their technical skills to Canada, This is actually the fastest way to shorten that gap and help the Canadian company and Canadian economy moving. Number 3. Immigrants are a readily available workforce. As we all know, napakataas ng education requirement, working experience, and technical skills required for immigration alone, and I'm talking about express entry as I have personally experienced this myself. With high percentage of aspiring immigrants holding bachelor's degree, master's degree, or even doctorate, along with their countless years of working experience, these immigrants brings value to Canada as a readily available and trainable workforce. Number 4. Immigrants adds a boost in Canadian economy. Let's face it, hindi naman pumupunta ang mga aspiring immigrants ng Canada nang walang pera. Kaya nga ang taas din ng proof of funds requirements para sa ibang pathway. Some Canadian dreamers even sell all their properties and bring all that money to Canada. They bring all their international savings from their own country. Of course, this money will be spent within Canada, which further help Canadian businesses and moves Canadian economy. Number 5. Immigrants are cheaper and more cost-effective. Siyempre, immigrants brings their degrees and work experiences already. Hindi na kailangan ng Canada na pag-aralin pa sila, which will put strain on the Canadian education system. And alam naman natin na it takes a lot of years just to graduate on one degree. Yung iba nga, they will take some government loan and assistance. Pero with immigrants, they are already bringing their education, kasama na yung mga seminars and trainings, and if their skills are transferable enough, madali talaga silang makakakuha ng trabaho. Immigrants are also willing to accept relatively lower pay just to set their foot on the maple leaf country. Bago tayo magpatuloy, kape muna mga kabayan, and sana nakapag-subscribe ka na rin. Number 6. Imagine those 1 million people coming in. Immigrants will definitely sustain Canada's economic growth. Most of the immigrants will definitely search for the job the moment they arrived here in Canada, and the soonest they find one, the soonest they can enter the Canadian workforce and start paying taxes. With this setup, immigrants help the economy moving, and this is sustained through their constant contribution on taxes and their spending within Canada. Number 7. Canada needs immigrants because it has aging population. Canada is really getting older and more Canadians are living longer and longer. This aging population will all require government pension, and without talented and young professionals to take on the job and contribute to these funds will eventually run out. Someone, like the immigrants, has to sustain and work to keep that cycle moving. Kaya sobrang okay din talaga sa Canada to attract young and talented aspiring immigrants. Number 8. Immigrants brings new ideas and innovations. Tailored to with the skills developed by immigrants sa ibang bansa. Aspiring immigrants can contribute highly on Canadian economy as they can share their ideas and innovation of what works best on the previous country they are in. Sa case ko, I bring in the latest technology na ginagamit namin sa Dubai and eventually implement it sa company ko ngayon. With talents with high educational degree, their contribution to every Canadian company will always be valued and honored. Number 9. Immigrants creates jobs. With business streams, aspiring rich immigrants bring their investment funds and create jobs for Canadians and immigrants too. Creating jobs means lesser unemployment rate, and with secure job for everyone, there is a secure food and shelter for every Canadian family. Aside from the jobs, these immigrants' businesses also pays taxes, which also goes to the Canadian government. Number 10. Immigrants will bring diversification. Canada has always been ranked as one of the most diversified nations, with immigrants living their lives and respecting each other. Kasama na tayong mga Pilipino doon, ang lahi ng mga hardworking at syempre, lahi ng mga hindi pasaway. Hindi naman tayo pasaway, di ba, mga kabayan? At yan ang 10 reason kung bakit kailangan ng Canada tayong mga immigrants. Palagi nating tandaan na as much as we want better life in Canada, andun yung security and stability sa Canada, baunin din natin yung thought na Canada also needed us, tayong mga immigrants. Lalo na tayong mga Pinoy, we will bring a lot to their table. Magagaling kaya tayong mga Pinoy professionals. Sana ay may natutunan kayo sa video na ito. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And I hope you can share this video sa mga aspiring Canadian immigrants din. Maraming salamat ulit sa panunood, and we will see you again on our next videos. We are Pinoy Professionals, Canada. Asa UAE or Singapore ka ngayon thinking, gusto ko nang mag-migrate sa isang bansa where I can stay for as long as I want. Na yung stay ko is not tied to any employer or any sponsor. Saan kaya mas maganda? Ito rin ang una kong tanong noon nung naisipan kong simulan ang permanent migration process. For the purpose of this video about permanent economic migration, we will talk about these two countries, Australia versus Canada. Saan kaya talaga mas maganda? Pupunta ka ba ng Australia or pupunta ka ng Canada? Pinoy Professionals, let's go for a ride as we discuss some of the factors na makakatulong sa pag-decide mo kung ba't mo pipiliin ang Australia over Canada or Canada over Australia as your new home. Although andito ako sa Canada ngayon, I will be unbiased as possible and I will do it in point system, so let the game begins. Pinakaunang factor na siguro is yung immigration process and citizenship. Ang point na ito will be given to Canada. Based on my experiences, having been presented of both Australia and Canada requirements, mas madali talagang makukumpleto ang mga Canadian requirements. Sa Canada, malinaw ang status ng application mo, and you can also track it even on any stages of your application, and you can do this online. Even Canada responses is considerably faster than that of Australia. In terms of citizenship, you can also be granted a Canadian citizenship in 3 years over 4 years requirement of Australian citizenship. It is also relatively noting that the Canadian passport is more powerful in the passport index ranking than the Australian passport. Second factor, which also relates to immigration, is the PR cost or the permanent resident cost. Australia Skilled Independent Program costs more than 4,000 Australian dollars for the principal applicant alone versus 1,000 Canadian dollars for principal applicants of Canada. The spouse and child immigration cost is also relatively higher in Australia versus Canada. So for this second factor of finances, I would also give another point to Canada. The third factor is the weather. We are from tropical countries, and Australia is a clear winner on this category. Australia has tropical weather, which is almost the same of the weather we are accustomed to in the Philippines as compared to Canada. In Canada, we have 4 seasons. Contrary to popular belief that it is all winter, it is really not. Canada has complete 4 seasons of spring, summer, fall or autumn, and winter. And yes, winter can be very harsh in some provinces and may last up to 6 months. So, if you are looking into good amount of sun, you have to go to Australia, while if you want to experience that snowy, cold weather, go to Canada. But for the purpose of this point system, I will give this point to Australia as it is more accustomed to Philippines weather. Fourth factor is the cost of living. There are a lot of sub-factors for the cost of living, but for the purpose of this comparison, I will assign points based on Numbeo website of comparison between Vancouver versus Sydney and Toronto versus Sydney. Based on the cost of living comparison of first Vancouver and Sydney, you would need 7,100 Australian dollars in Vancouver to match an 8,000 Australian dollar same standard of life. This is the same with Toronto versus Sydney, wherein Sydney appears to be relatively higher, and given this data, another point is given to Canada. We are all professionals and we all wanted to practice our profession as soon as we landed on our new home country. Based on all the research we did, the ease of going back to your profession is so much easier in Australia as compared to Canada. In both countries, you may have to bridge your education, but based on few other sub-factors, Australia will definitely get this point, as I know few colleagues personally who have been practicing engineering profession as soon as they landed in Australia, which we can't do here in Canada. Employment opportunities is our sixth factor. Both Australia and Canada are highly developed countries, and in terms of employment, both are looking for local experience, which is making it challenging for new immigrants to integrate. I am giving both countries a point, as this really depends on your circumstances and how well you prepared for your immigration. Unemployment rate is our seventh factor. Although both Canada and Australia has almost the same job opportunities, Australia will get 1 point in this category, as Australia has 5.18% unemployment rate versus 5.67% of Canada. This is based on a 2019 data, which is before the global COVID-19 pandemic. Our eighth factor is healthcare. Although both countries have top-notch healthcare, based on research, Australia will get this point as they have public and private hospitals, which reduces strain of waiting, just like here in Canada. In Canada, although healthcare is paid through your taxes, you may have to wait longer to get tests like MRI as compared to Australia, wherein lines is relatively shorter. New immigrant integration is our 9th factor. With a lot of government support, the moment you received your certificate of permanent residency, I will give this point to Canada. As we all know, Canada was built with the help of immigrants, and that is why all its programs is accustomed to. You can find a lot of immigrant support everywhere, you just have to look for it. There are a lot of free government services. There are a lot of courses, seminars that you can take to upgrade your skills and be at par with the ever-changing demand in Canada. The 10th factor that could be important for you is the monthly income. Getting this data from Numbeo website, Australia has relatively higher income as compared to Canada. Hence, on this category, Australia will also get the point. The 11th factor is the outdoor activities, and this point will also go to Australia. With Canada having 4 seasons and relatively colder temperature, people tends to stay indoor in most seasons and enjoy a good 3 months during summer season. The 12th factor is proximities, as this is considerably important to most of the immigrants. In this factor, I am giving point to both Australia and Canada. Australia being closer to Asia and the Philippines, while Canada being closer to US, to Europe, and the Middle East as compared to Australia. The 13th factor that you may consider is driving ease. In Canada, we are driving on the right-hand side, which is the same in the Philippines, the US, and the Middle East. But in Australia, it is left-hand side, so this might be an adjustment that you may also want to take and consider. For ease of adjustment, I am giving this point to Canada. Racism could be the 14th factor, and although both countries highly condemned any of this act, Canada still get a point as we have searched lesser racism incident in Canada over Australia. Canada is very multiculturally rich nation and people comes from all over the world, hence people tends to respect each other more. So there you go guys, this is the 14 factors that you may want to consider before choosing your new home country. In summary, we just want to commend these two countries for accepting immigrants, lalo na tayong mga Pilipino. Both these countries are highly developed and you can never go wrong should you choose one over the other depending on all the factors we have mentioned. Now, you can make your informed decision and whatever it is, which country man ang piliin mo, you know that it will be best for your family and alam naming paninindigan mo yon. On our next video, we will discuss about the expectations versus reality of living in Canada, so please stay tuned. Again, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that like button, and see you again on our next videos. You are moving to a new country. Great job, you guys! By now, naniniwala kami that you have done your research already. Pero in case may na-miss man kayo or you're still looking for some fun information about Canada, then this video is definitely for you, as we have listed 12 things that you should know before moving to your new country, Canada. We are so excited in your journey as we felt the same way at the same point in our lives. So without further ado, here's the 12 helpful information about the Great White North, the Maple Leaf Country, Canada. Number 1. Healthcare is funded through your taxes, but not everything is covered. Let's start the moment you land here in Canada. Depending on the province you chose to stay, you may want to buy private insurance as your healthcare coverage may start only after 3 months. Example of these provinces are Ontario and British Columbia. So if you're choosing popular cities like Vancouver, Toronto, and Ottawa, you may shell out for health concerns in the first 3 months. On the contrary, there are also provinces that your healthcare is covered on the same day you landed, like Alberta with its famous cities like Edmonton and Calgary. Your further research here could help you if you really need to purchase that private health insurance while you wait for that 3 months effectivity. On some provinces, prescriptions may not be fully covered with your health card along with the dental services. So make sure you're setting your expectations straight on this. Number 2. Taxes, taxes, taxes. I know you know this already, pero uulitin lang namin that you can't easily get rich in Canada if your main source of income is solely your employment. Even as you climb higher and higher on the corporate ladder, your taxes will go higher with you. So you may want to slow down some time and make sure you spend quality time with your family and friends and make sure that you are living your life to the fullest. Money isn't everything, but it can definitely help you achieve your goals and dreams here in Canada. Number 3. Get the habit of tipping. Yes, sa Philippines kasi and some Asian countries, we are not used to tipping. In Canada, at the least, out of courtesy, everyone is expected to tip at least 10%. Syempre, you still have that option of not tipping as depende pa rin naman to on your circumstances. We are just letting you guys know in advance that this is really a thing here in Canada. Eating in a restaurant or even in some fast foods, you may have to shell out extra dollar for the tip that's helping all the crew to increase their earnings. Sharing is a blessing, so if you have extra, wala naman din talagang masama na magbigay, lalo at outstanding naman ang mga services na binibigay nila. Diba mga kabayan? Bago tayo mag-proceed, sana nakasubscribe ka na. We can't wait to share more videos about Canada and we sure don't want you to miss any of it. Number 4. Nabanggit ko na rin to sa mga previous videos namin pero isinama ko pa rin ito to set our expectations straight. Picking up our career where we left wouldn't be as easy as we have thought, so we better be prepared for it. Kahit gaano man ka-extensive ang experiences natin or kahit gaano man kataas ang naging position natin outside Canada, that doesn't fully equate to full recognition here in Canada. We may have to work from the bottom again and work harder to reach the top. It may take years and years, but if we are persistent enough, we will sure reach there. Our advice is to prepare, save more, and bring extra cash so you can buy some more time to integrate while you learn the work culture. Number 5. Cellular phone networks are extremely expensive here in Canada as compared to Asia. Prepaid plans is not as popular here, so you might need to consider getting a contract on one of the cellular network provider. A 5 or 10 GB worth of data in Canada is not cheap at all. Depending on the network, it could range between 50 Canadian dollars to 80 Canadian dollars monthly, and if you will have this on every member of your family, this will sum up to a significant amount, so you really need to strategize on this regard. Number 6. The price you see on the tag is just the starting point. Yes, it is just the starting point because taxes aren't included on that tag. Depending on the provinces, you may need to add 5 to 12% of the tag price to get the full price of the item you are purchasing. This is contrary to our Asian practice that the price we see on the tag already includes the taxes, and it is indeed the final price. Number 7. Learn to say sorry and thank you often. Once you are here, you'll know what we mean. Canadians are so polite that they always say sorry and thank you as courtesies. But please set your expectations straight, because this doesn't often conclude as a sign of them being so friendly. Canadians are very reserved, and saying sorry and thank you doesn't necessarily signal a friendship in the making. This is also true to some nationalities that even though respect is there, finding true friendship could sometimes be very challenging here. Number 8. Canada is really a multicultural country. Immigration gets harder because you are basically competing with the rest of the world. And true enough, if you are taking a train within the cities of Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, you will be surrounded by people from around the world, and this is what's making Canada very diversified. Throughout the year, different cultural celebrations is being held within Canada to honor and acknowledge cultural heritage that have been contributing to its economic growth. Number 9. Canada truly has 4 seasons. Yes, 4 seasons ang Canada. Yun nga lang, may ilang mga provinces who will have shorter spring, shorter summer, shorter fall, but relatively longer winter, lalo na as you go up north. Number 10. You can see the northern lights here in Canada. I have seen it myself here in Canada, so if you have that fascination and seeing Aurora Borealis is in your bucket list, you may not need to go to Alaska or Iceland, as you can also see it here in Canada. Promise mga kabayan, sobrang surreal ng feeling seeing it. Number 11. Job hunting can be a very lengthy process in Canada. Kaya palagi ko ding sinasabi to save and bring more funds to tied up on your first months or so. Taking a menial job in the short term, as long as you have a long-term plan, is also okay. Number 12. Cannabis or recreational marijuana is legal in Canada. Yun lang, and I don't want to further elaborate it. You can do your own research if you think this will be an issue for you. Wow, naka-12 na pala tayo, but here's an extra bonus fact. Number 13. So when is the best time to come to Canada? Based on our personal experience, it is best to move in spring or summer season. During this season, hiring process is at its peak as compared to fall or winter. It is also easier to adjust as it is still not that cold, which we Filipinos aren't fully accustomed to. But for families, be sure to check your kids' education as school starts here in September. July 1 Canada Day is fast approaching. I hope you learned interesting facts about Canada today, and I hope that this will help you on your journey one way or another. As always, more videos to come, guys. Please feel free to subscribe, share, and hit that like button if this at least entertained you. God bless everyone and always be a blessing.